Today we're going to have a go at ringing something called Bastow Doubles on the treble, and this is the start of plain hunting. You'll be ringing the treble and you'll be literally going to seconds place only and then leading again. So you'll be leading, seconds place, another seconds place at backstroke, leading full, handstroke and backstroke, seconds place, handstroke and backstroke, leading, handstroke and backstroke, and so on. You can see what the treble does on the right hand side where the red line is. This is to get you used to moving a place. So we're going to be doing it for listening as well. And then the next thing is also finding the bell that you need to ring after. So when you're in seconds place, who do you follow? So we're going to start with 6 bells, but we have, if you go to open file at the top and you scroll down, all the way down to the bottom there, it says Learning Exercises version 2. So we click this, click open, and we get all sorts of learning exercises down the left hand side. We're going to actually do the first one, Bastow Doubles, double click it, make sure it's up in the grey box here. And again, if your bells are in any order other than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you prefer it in this order, you just have to double click the last bell, the tenor bell, and then everyone will be going in order. So we're going to learn Bastow Doubles on the treble, so let's single click the treble. Again, the order will go out, so we double click on number 6 and make the order go back again. So we're going to start with doing the listening. So we're going to learn how to strike our bell with a hand stroke, open the hand stroke gap, and then when we're doing seconds place, letting a bell ring in front of us. It's best not to look at the sallies and the ropes with this exercise because it just then confuses and you try and then follow ropes rather than actually listening to the sound. We need to turn off user starts bell movement. So go to ringing, go right down to the bottom here, and it's ticked user starts bell movement. You need to untick that. So just check, yep, it's unticked now. And that means that when you press your letter R on your keypad, the bell just rings. There's no pulling off at hand stroke and backstroke and then the delay in the bell ringing. So we're going to start, and when it says go, then the next hand stroke, you will then be doing seconds place. So I'm not worried about who I'm going to be ringing over at the moment. What's a good thing to do here is also that the tenor, the last bell, is always the last bell. So that will help us with our listening as well. We'll always listen for that lowest sound to then lead off. So here we go. So listen for the gap. 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 And when you're happy with this, you can press go.
Go. Next time.
So here we go. Second place. Then lead. Gap. Second place. Lead. Gap. Second place. Lead. Gap. Second place. Lead. Gap. Okay. Again, if yours, that will be the end of a plain course. If yours then says rounds or that's all, and then it stops, you can carry on by going to ringing, and then if it says stop at rounds, you can untick it. Mine's unticked at the moment because I think when you're learning it, it's nice to do it over and over and over and over again. So you don't really notice that it's going back into rounds. You just make seconds and then lead all the time. So the next stage is to be able to then not take part in ringing, but then to look at these 4 bells, 2, 3, 4 and 5, to see which bell is going to lead, and that will be the bell that you then make seconds over. And the best way to do this is to look when the treble is leading at backstroke, which bell is following the treble. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, every time the treble is leading at backstroke, I'm going to pause the video, and hopefully you'll then see the bell which is ringing just slightly after. So this is rope sight, so the treble will be pulling down at backstroke. So she'll have her hands up in the air like this, and you look across and you'll see one of the bells that's just behind her, so possibly also hands up in the air, and when she starts moving her hands down, they will then move their hands down a little bit afterwards. So I'll pause the video, but then also make sure that it's in slow motion so you can see it as well. And that's all there is to it. You basically look at the bell that's following you. Unfortunately, we don't have helpful ringers here. They're not looking at you and smiling, but we're just focusing on the rope and the hands pulling down on the rope. You don't need to look up to the ceiling and look for the sally. You just look at their hands and know when they're pulling down. So we're going to turn the peal time to as long as they possibly can. Right, well actually we'll do 5 hours. I think it'll be a bit tedious if we do it any slower than that. Right, okay, so here we go. We're going to have a go at ringing, at watching and not ringing, so Abel will be ringing for us. So even now you can see number 2 is obviously following number 1 because it's round. So look at when she's just about to pull down at backstroke. Here we go. She's just about to pull down at backstroke. You can see the gap. There's just a little bit of a delay. So here we go. This is the method.
Go. Next time.
So this hand stroke, she will be making seconds. So she's leading at hand stroke now. Now, at backstroke, who is following her? So she's leading again. And that backstroke. So she's making seconds now. Now she's leading, hand stroke. Watch at a backstroke. She's leading, and then so I hope that's useful, and you can do both separately. I'd recommend doing it separately, listening first and using the non-bell movement, use a bell movement so that the sound of the bell is happening exactly when you're pressing the key, and then also slow it right down to peal time 5 hours to see the bells that you were meant to follow in seconds place.